Okay, so we have a new lawsuit, and with that comes some of the background information about how Blake Lively's lawsuit came to be in the first place.
Is a lying liar who lies and gets caught. Honestly, at this point, I feel like there's really no need for a trial. Let Blake Lively keep talking. Let the TikTok investigators keep on investigating, and she's gonna completely snitch on herself, as she already has.
Important to Justin. The 400 million or some kind of, financial settlement to make up for maybe lost work. Has he lost work? Has he lost, people backed away from him for a future project?
A substantial.
A lawsuit against his former publicist, Stephanie Jones.
Did Blake Lively actually coerce a former aide into disclosing personal messages? Hollywood has always been a mysterious place full of tales of power struggles, covert plans, and secrets that may change a person's career, but occasionally a scandal breaks out that rocks the industry's roots and makes fans doubt the sincerity of their favorite celebrities. Blake Lively, an actress renowned for her attractiveness, elegance, and spotless image, is in the center of the most recent dispute.
Nosy.
And my nose is so big.
Yes, I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
Cut.
Just kidding.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny Slate too. Our noses.
Lively's complaint included screen captures of text messages and correspondence that Lively's team allegedly showed orchestrated attempts on the part of Baldoni's PR representative to hurt her reputation in the media as part of a social manipulation campaign.
Lively's carefully manicured image could be seriously harmed by new claims that she may not be as innocent as she seems. Stephanie Jones, a former assistant, has come forward with shocking claims that she was blackmailed into disclosing private text messages. But why would one of Hollywood's most renowned actresses use such tactics? What's hidden in those texts? And most importantly, how is the rest of Hollywood responding to these explosive accusations? Let's dissect everything.
Mediation, there was an idea of mediation, and both sides, your side and Blake's, shot it down. Were you open to mediating this? And the other side said no, because, I don't understand why this could and should end, but it has to be them, right?
Well, I'll comment on what I can. In what was filed with the court before the Rule 26 hearing, the question was asked about whether we would be willing to go to mediation. And whether we were open to that. Our answer to that was no. We're not willing to do anything until Justin is cleared of being called a predator, of being called a sexual harasser.
We got our first motion to dismiss. Yeehaw, here we go. So I am hoping that our dear BB will do a video on the standard for motions to dismiss under the federal rules, which is 12b6, because she's better at that stuff than I am. I'm just going to go straight into the content of the motion. And then if people have questions, I'll follow up, and I'm sure we can both try to follow up on the parts of it. But the first motion to dismiss, and this is motion to dismiss all or parts of the complaint that has been filed against them. Each party has the right to do that. And the first one has come from Leslie Sloan and Vision PR. So this is Blake Lively's publicist and that publicist's company. They were included with Blake and with Ryan in Justin Baldoni's suit against them. They were not included in all of the claims, but they were included in some of the claims. And she is asking the court to dismiss all of the ones that she was included in for various reasons. Here's the reasons.
Unlike Lively, Stephanie Jones was little known to the general public until lately. She is neither a celebrity nor someone who has deliberately pursued attention. Jones worked behind the scenes in Hollywood, frequently helping well-known people and overseeing their daily routines. Although she may not have been in front of the cameras, she was well familiar with the inner workings of the business.
This morning in that heated legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, the former co-stars from It Ends With Us. Now, Baldoni is pointing the finger at his former publicist, blaming her for setting this months-long legal fight into motion. NBC's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas is here with more. It feels like one lawsuit after another, but this is different.
6 in total. So I'm going to try to break it down for you guys because there is a lot of things things going on. So Justin Baldoni's new lawsuit filed on Friday claims that his former publicist, a woman named Stephanie Jones, maliciously passed on data from a former employee's phone, including text messages to Blake Lively's team. Now, an attorney for Baldoni states that this set off a, quote, catastrophic sequence of events, violating the most basic of privacy rights.
Jones asserts that while working for well-known celebrities, she was able to obtain private conversations, documents, and text exchanges that the elite of Hollywood would prefer to keep secret. She says she never intended to reveal anything, but that all changed when she was allegedly cornered by Blake Lively.
Our lawsuit was a logical next step due to the overwhelming amount of new proof that has come to light. This fresh evidence corroborates what we knew all along, that due to pure egotistical reasons, Miss Lively and her entire team colluded for months to destroy reputations through a complex web of lies, false accusations, and manipulation of illicitly received communications. The ongoing public interest in this case online has ironically shed light on the undeniable facts pertaining to the New York Times and how heavily Miss Lively and her representatives were not only deeply involved in the attempted takedown and smear campaign of Mr. Baldoni, Wayfair Studios, and their teams, but that they themselves initiated.
Jones stated in an interview with a popular entertainment podcast that Lively approached her in intimidating circumstances that made it impossible for her to say no. However, the reason why Lively allegedly turned to blackmail is revealed in a series of private text messages.
Attorney filed an amended lawsuit against Taylor Swift's bestie. In that, he included new allegations and a very detailed timeline that has shown Ryan Reynolds' wife to behave in ways that are despicable. Where I left in the timeline, the shampoo company owner forced Sony, the film distributor, to remove his film by credit, even though Justin Baldoni directed the movie. And we find out now how even more unprofessional she is. May 2nd, while Lively is holding the film hostage in the edit room, she is simultaneously stalling the film's marketing by refusing to approve key materials, including the trailer release. With less than 3 months until the film's premiere, Sony becomes increasingly alarmed about the delayed rollout of the trailer, a cornerstone of the promotional campaign. In a text exchange between Heath, his producing partner, a Sony film executive, and a Sony marketing executive who had just spoken with Lively, they inform Heath of Lively's still escalating demand.
Leaked online, the entertainment industry was rocked by these texts only a few weeks ago. Allegedly, Blake Lively talks about influencing Hollywood's casting decisions to favor particular performers and even intentionally trying to push up-and-coming talent away from projects that didn't align with her vision. In one such communication, Lively seems to have stated her intention to have a young, talented actress cut from a movie because she didn't match the image Hollywood is looking for at the moment.
Lively made a veiled threat, implying she might change her mind about reaching out to Taylor Swift to secure the use of My Tears Ricochet for the trailer if her demands are not met. She is threatening with the dragon. When his producing partner refuses to acquiesce to more time, the Sony marketing executive delivers a sharp and pointed warning. You don't want to play ball? You are going to delay and greatly hurt the movie. Good luck. This stark response signals that Sony too was beginning to apply pressure on Wayfarer, effectively strong-arming them into compliance. Even though Sony had previously said, it's their movie. We're just distributing and investing. The message makes it clear that the studio is growing increasingly frustrated with the situation and is prepared to hold Wayfarer accountable for any negative fallout, adding yet another layer of tension to an already fraught dynamic. And look at this! More receipts.
If these texts are genuine, they may also show a side of the industry that fans don't typically see. A world where influences, currency, and celebrities have far more control over the industry than we realize. They also mention interactions with influential Hollywood executives, suggesting behind-the-scenes dealings where career-altering decisions were made through quiet negotiations rather than merit.
Late last night, Justin Baldoni's team filed an amended complaint in their lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, the New York Times, and in it, they dropped an exhibit that is basically a timeline with a lot more evidence, including text messages between Justin and Ryan.
Baldoni used to be repped by Stephanie Jones's company, Jones Work PR. Working at Steph Jones's company was his lead publicist, Jen Abel. Jen Abel and Stephanie Jones had a very bitter breakup professionally. According to reports, Steph Jones had gotten word that Jen Abel was getting ready to leave and start her own PR agency. She tried to get her to stay, that didn't work out, and then one day, all hell broke loose when she got fired. I'll detail exactly what happened in a moment, but in his just filed complaint, Baldoni alleges that Steph Jones maliciously leaked Jen Abel's text messages to Blake Lively's team, and thus ensuing all the legal drama that I have been covering now for months. Remember, it was actually Steph Jones who filed the very first lawsuit in everything related to the It Ends With Us saga. Back in December, before Blake No Receipts Lively sued Baldoni, Steph Jones sued him for breach of contract amongst other claims. Steph Jones alleges that she had a year-long agreement with Baldoni to represent him and Wayfarer Studios, his production company. And she wants the rest of her.
However, this is where the story takes a darker turn. Jones says that Blake Lively used threats to coerce her into leaking the texts, even though she didn't want to do so in the first place. Lively allegedly wanted to control the narrative before someone else had the opportunity to expose the texts, effectively making Jones the scapegoat in a much larger scheme. Jones clarified that she told me it was the only way to handle the aftermath, and that she would ensure I never again had employment in this field if I didn't do it. However, why would Lively want these texts to be disclosed on her terms? Some sources assume a more complex plan at work, while others think it was an attempt to minimize the harm and make it appear as though she was a victim rather than a culprit.
The lawsuit contains pages upon pages of text messages that Friedman told CNN are proof that the text messages published in Lively's initial complaint were doctored and manipulated. He alleges in his complaint that the Times intentionally omitted texts which dispute Lively's narrative. The messages also show Lively's involvement in creative discussions about her character's wardrobe, with one exchange in particular revealing her own desire for more attractive clothing. Baldoni's lawsuit claims that the New York Times reported a biased story, favoring Lively's side and ignoring evidence that contradicted her narrative. The outlet has, however, maintained that the reporting was accurate and thorough. The Gossip Girl star sued her co-star in an 8-page lawsuit, citing multiple misconducts, including inappropriate comments and actions by him and producer James.
As anticipated, a former coworker who wished to remain anonymous claimed that Lively has a history of covertly suppressing negative narratives about herself while purposefully releasing those that are in her favor. Hollywood insiders have not remained silent on the issue, with multiple anonymous sources coming forward to claim that this is not the first time the actress has used her influence to control information. One industry veteran said, "She's incredibly calculated when it comes to her public image. Every move is deliberate, adding fuel to the fire." According to some, Lively isn't the only person who feels pressured by Stephanie Jones. According to reports, other industry workers and assistants have similar situations but are too scared to speak up for fear of losing their jobs.
This lawsuit paints Stephanie Jones as growing increasingly paranoid and rattled by negative press about her. Press that covered an exodus of clients that were leaving her company and that described her as an erratic screamer. The complaint claims that Steph Jones, who was relying on a psychic, started to plan a revenge campaign against Baldoni and Jen Abel as they both announced their plans to exit Jones Works. So, Jen Abel had announced that she was leaving. 2 days before her planned final day, she went into the office where she was
Let us know in the comments if you believe Blake Lively is truly responsible for these charges or if Stephanie Jones is just another former assistant seeking attention. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analyses of Hollywood's most significant scandals. Until the next time, stay curious because in Hollywood, the truth is frequently more dramatic than fiction.